is up, everybody?
The sky is up. The space is up. Oh my gosh, this is probably Aliens Podcast. Welcome. How's everybody doing?
Welcome.
First live stream. Okay. Before we start, Trey, I did want to say I want to give a complete shout out to the people that listened to the last episode. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, a whole lot of people.
Yeah. I can count them on my hands and my toes. But, okay, so we know, we're just joking. We know that it's going to take a little bit to get this thing rolling. But we do appreciate it. We had a couple 5-star reviews, so we're very appreciative of that. And, yeah, so I just want to get that out of the way. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
That's pretty much it. Okay. So, well, did we introduce ourselves? My name's Jordan, I guess.
My name's Trey.
This is Probably Aliens.
Probably Aliens Podcast.
Yeah. First things first. We've got some In Science Today. We'll start. Trey, you got some In Science Today?
Yes, I do. In Science Today. This is actually an article published July 28th, I believe, on CNN. So, it's fake news, but, Anyway, so I'll pull up my notes here. 1 second. So, for the first time, scientists have detected light coming from behind a black hole. Now, as we all know, black holes are supposed to swallow, engulf, capture any light that comes to it. But the researchers at Stanford University, particularly Dan Wilkins and colleagues, observed X-rays from a supermassive black hole located at the center of the galaxy 800 million light years away. That's 800 million.
Wow.
So, we all know, like I said, black holes envelop light. Supposedly spaghetti-atized people. We'd have to ask Matthew McConaughey about that. But,
Interstellar.
Yeah. But basically, this proved Einstein's general theory of relativity, that everything can be traced back, like from the origin of the universe to formation of planets, objects in space and time, all that. That's the general relativity, Einstein's relativity. So what I had concurred or thought of, actually, if you look at this picture that's on screen, so Jordan thinks it looks like a booty hole, but what I believe, if you look at it closely, that black center, the kind of dome shape, it resembles to me an eye, right?
Yeah.
You got your eye.
I see that,
yeah. Your eye is kind of bent, and that's the way we see, that's the way light enters your eye, and it bends. And then actually it bends again once it's refracted from the lens, and the object is actually turned upside down until it hits your retinas, which are the nerve tissue that turn light into pictures, and then it's projected back, as what you see. Everything's right side up. So light enters your eye upside down.
Okay, so just really quick, for the people because people that aren't tuning in for the live stream or the video version of this, let's just kind of give like a description, just audio description of it. Well, I guess a visual description, but with audio. It's basically a red, ring.
Oh, okay, I got you.
With like a black center, kind of like almost looks like nothingness in the middle, with a white around it, with like a beam of light coming down in the middle. Is that kind of?
Yeah, it's basically a black mass in the middle, light around it being bent, red image around it being warped. So it kind of looks like a vortex with a black center with a geyser shooting up out of it. Is the best description.
That's a pretty good description. Yeah.
Back to what I was saying, that light actually is upside down and then gets refracted, whichever, into what we see. So, what if they discovered this light on the other end of a black hole? What if it is just like our eyeball, and light on the other side is projecting out. So what if it's a portal to another dimension or something else? Yeah.
I was wondering where you were going with this.
Yeah, why else would light be beaming out the back?
Yeah.
Besides, the black hole.
So we're talking about like are we talking like interdimensional travel here?
Yeah, dude.
Something. But you said it was 800 million light years away.
Yep.
How do we even detect something that's that far? I guess.
Man, using the technology of today, they study the X-rays and gamma rays because used on their machines, they can detect the light. It's like a color. It could be green, purple, yellow, for all I know. They can actually see it using the telescope or imaging, something like that.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's pretty cool that you talk about a portal there, because it kind of does look like you see light coming from it, which is pretty cool. So, like, what's your theory about this? Like, why would this be a portal, and why would this portal exist?
Well, I mean, there's still a whole lot of theories about the alternate universes or parallel dimensions. I mean, everywhere. Like we said, Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar. Futurama has done a couple episodes on parallel dimensions. I mean, it's just it's the unknown. That's the reason me and you are here, is the unknown.
The unknown, exactly. We went to that a lot in the first episode as well.
Yeah,
that's the thing. It's always entices people, is the unknown. So yeah, I mean, that's a really cool thing. That's a really cool science thing. Is there anything else you wanted to add on that? Or we go to the next.
No, that's it. That's all I had for my bit.
Okay, so we're going to the next. I guess this one's my news. I guess we'll do one each. So in Science Today, guys, astronomers have finally uncovered water vapor in the atmosphere of a super-Earth exoplanet orbiting within the habitable zone of its star. This find means that basically liquid water could also exist on the rocky world's surface, potentially even forming like a global ocean on this exoplanet. Scientists, this is just a quote from scientists that said, orbiting around a relatively docile red dwarf star, the exoplanet is the best candidate for habitability that we know right now. So that's pretty cool. Given that the star is much cooler than the sun, in the end, the planet is receiving similar radiation to the Earth. And based on calculations, the temperature of the planet is also similar to the temperature of the Earth. So that's pretty freaking cool.
So
basically, there's like an ocean on an exoplanet. I think that's pretty damn cool.
Like Subnautica right there. That's the planet they went to.
This was on NASA, so NASA released all this stuff. So that's pretty damn cool, man. Like, if you think about it, like with different planets in general, like why wouldn't there be an ocean? Like, and they say like where there's water, there could be life.
Yeah, dude. So, I mean, water is the essence of life. Everything requires it.
Mm-hmm. Even bacteria. I mean, like, it's just water. When water exists, you can almost guarantee. You can't guarantee anything, but you can almost guarantee that there's some kind of life.
Yeah.
Which is,
absolutely.
Does it ever, like, just a little bit, kind of a little off topic for a second, does it ever, like, blow your mind that, like, nobody's really came out and said, like, oh, like, life exists on planets? I mean, we found, like, bacteria here and there, but, like, NASA and all that doesn't really come out and say, like, oh, life's pretty, normal.
Yeah. Yeah. In the words of Jeff Goldblum, life finds a way.
Life will find a way. We have to do that.
You can't play God. Baby. John Hammond, you can't play God.
This is going to be movie quotes.
Yeah, so that's the whole podcast is movie quotes.
The first episode was like 40% movie quotes, so it's okay.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so I guess that's my in Science Today. So we can get to the topic on hand, guys, which is crop circles.
Crop circles.
Oh my gosh. So Trey, what are crop circles? Not crop circles. Crop circles.
Crop circles apparently are big designs made in cornfields or wheat. Every article I looked up, it was majority of wheat fields.
Yeah, like
for some
wheat
reason.
typically they're in wheat and barley fields in England, not even in the States very much.
75. Actually, I'm glad you said that. 75%, according to most articles I read, are in England.
I did my research, man. I know what I'm doing. I told you I was prepared.
About a few miles from Stonehenge, actually.
Yeah,
and
Stonehenge, which we could get into. It's a great megalithic structure, but you can continue.
Pretty sure they found the bodies. They dug under them, found the bodies actually.
Of what, like the under Stonehenge?
Yeah, like the heads are giant and the bodies are like little.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I thought you meant like they dug bodies up under.
No, sorry, Jesus. I didn't clarify. No, the actual statues' bodies.
That was always insinuated that there was bodies underneath.
There was something under there.
Yeah.
And why did it take them, up till now to be like, hey, let's dig under these and see?
Yeah, like the Tiki Island hands. They kind of look like Tiki Island heads. So yeah, I mean,
Crash Bandicoot.
What? Sorry.
I said like a coo and Crash Bandicoot.
So I guess I'll just feed off of what you just said. Basically, it's wheat barley fields in England. People typically see orbs or balls of light, fireballs. That like make little to no sound. Some cases will see UFOs, but like most of the time, and they don't. I'd say like 9 times out of 10, they don't, talk about seeing like actual crafts and stuff. The crop circles are like highly intricate mathematical design. These crop circles that just form up, at least the more credible ones, they have electromagnetic or radiation on the plants, or in the soil in the crop circles. That's detected, and those are more credible crop circles. I mean, there are. I'll let you go into. Not all crop circles are like unexplainable and extraterrestrial. I guess there are man-made crop circles.
Yeah, they're actual hoaxes, and 2 people since passed away now, but back in the 90s, Doug Bauer and Dave Chorley, they claimed actually making crop circles. Majority of the crop circles that were around them, they had made with a wooden board and some string.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I think they discredited a lot of the crop circles that are unexplained because, even research and any article you look up, there are some unexplained crop circles. Like you said, like the soil, some of the stalks that were bent, they were actually, the water inside or the liquid inside was actually heated from the inside, not the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, I can't really explain how that's possible, especially being bent as well. I mean, I guess the sun could still cook them, if, given the daylight, the time of day and all that.
Yeah, you say like the sun could cook them, but I'm like thinking like there's electromagnetic radiation and all that on it. It's kind of like you could tell the difference between like crops just being sun, like the sun burning into a crop, or like radiation and all that. Yeah. But like you said, there are crop circles that are man-made. Typically, they aren't made in a night, I feel like, and if they are, well, here's the way that I see it.
Actually, I do have a report in my papers that I'm trying to shuffle through real fast, but there was an unexplained. Let me find it. You go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say that basically, with the crop circles, the way I see it, the more intricate designs, I feel like are, in my opinion, those are more man-made. So
you think so? The more intricate ones?
Yeah, well, you're not going to see like aliens or extraterrestrials like doing the Mona Lisa. It's like that's just true. It's kind of a dead giveaway. I feel like the more primitive versions, like the circles that you see, the I don't know, the dots that you see, the binary codes that you see, the There's like ones that look like squids and stuff. That just the ones that
Yeah.
just look really out there. Like there's like I can't look. You can look at them and be like, what the fuck is this? Those are the ones that are like that make me believe that those are more, at least
And
unexplained or
extraterrestrial.
extraterrestrial. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, like you said, the more intricate ones, I can agree with you on that one. Just because even this day and age, crop circles are still a thing, but majority of them are man-made. Just like we had explained and you went into, just because the satellite imaging technology that we have these days, especially Google Maps,
Google Earth.
aircrafts can go up, and if someone hires them, you'd be like, hey, I need a broad picture of this field because we got a design going in it.
Yeah.
And then they just go from there. But I still not found my paper, man. I got like 16, 17 pages here. I do want to mention that as I'm looking at this page, apparently eyewitness reports of birds flying around crop circles. Like there was some object that they were trying to avoid. Like they did not fly over the center of it at all. They kind of circled around it.
Yeah, so like basically like obviously when people, and this goes back just with aliens in general, extraterrestrials and just things that people can explain, paranormal stuff even, animals can sense this kind of stuff. They'll fly around it, they'd be like, hey, some crazy shit happens. And then you kind of even see it, I don't want to get too much into it because we're talking about crop circles, but like cow mutilations and stuff, like animals won't go near that fucking cow. Yeah. And you got to think these are birds and shit that like crows that like feed off of dead animals won't even touch a mutilated cow. Like they know some freaky
something's
shit
wrong
went
there.
down.
Yeah, something's wrong there.
Something's wrong. Something's not adding up.
Also, like you said, with the intricate details, there are some based on mathematical relationships and theories of Euclidean geometry, which I have no idea. If you ask me any math question, I'm just dumbfounded. Like I suck at math. Like I still count on my fingers, but
you said Euclidean.
Euclidean geometry. The measurements of various crop circles appear to demonstrate many universal laws. Their measurements have been shown to correspond exactly to notes of musical scale, circuitry, DNA strands of genetic relations, sacred geometry / hyperdimensional physics, ancient symbols found in such places as the pyramids of Egypt, Stonehenge, and Mayan and Aztec temples, solar systems and asteroid trajectories, mathematical equations, and we'll get back on that one because I have a guy.
I have a lot about
that guy, the same guy. Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
Advanced geometry and molecular structure. So these have all been reported as crop circle designs. So a couple of those, unless you're a really intelligent species, extraterrestrial, of course, but to know musical notes or electrical circuitry, that whole list I just said, it's more than likely man-made.
Yeah. Just to go back, I just looked it up. The Euclidean geometry is a mathematical system attributed to the Alexandrian Greek mathematician Euclid, which is the method consists in assuming a small set of appealing axioms and deducing many other propositions from these. Just take that with what you can. That's a lot of big words for me. Let's just say it's Greek. We'll just say it's Greek. Euclidean.
What was his name? Euclidean?
Euclidean? Oh, Euclid. Sorry, yeah.
Euclid. Yeah, that sounds Greek. Let's just go with that.
So basically, these aliens are making these crop circles, and they're making these like very mathematical, it's all mathematical. It's geometrical, very high, advanced, high tech type of shit that we can't really understand. Not fully, at least. We can't fully understand.
Yeah, not fully. That's good. Yeah, good catch. I had one that. Sorry.
While you're looking for that, I want to.
Go ahead.
Really, the start of crop circles was in the 1970s. It's the late 1970s. Simple crop circles pretty much began to appear in like Wiltshire, Oxfordshire, Somerset, and I'm hoping that I'm pronouncing this right. Gloucestershire. I'm probably saying it wrong. Yeah, in southern England. They were made at night. Over the years, they became more complex, growing into large patterns of geometric forms, hundreds of feet across. Some people that studied those crop circles found that they were very intricate, and the fact that the plants seemed to be bent but not broken, which is always a big one. They're bent, not broken. Precluded a human creator, which basically meant that they were either being some kind of unknown natural phenomenon or extraterrestrials. So that's pretty much your very short history lesson on the beginning of crop circles.
I actually had an actual article about an earlier form of crop circles. Not necessarily a crop circle, it's more like a grassy area. But it was back in 1678 about the mowing devil legend. So,
Mowing devil legend.
Yeah, so it wasn't actually aliens, but this dude was like, the devil's mowing my yard, basically. So,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
No, okay, I'm sorry.
And there was actually
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, go.
Yeah, a woodcut.
Yeah.
It was about two feuding English farmers. They told a worker with whom he was feuding that he would rather pay the devil himself to cut the oat field than pay the fee demanded. So apparently there was a fee to cut your oat field. They said, I'd rather pay the devil. And I guess that urban legend got started. There was a whole picture. It literally looked like a kindergarten drawing, like a kindergartner's drawing. But that could be the first case of crop circles.
I think that was the first case, actually, now that you say that. Because like back then they literally were like, this was like some like little Tasmanian devil going around
cutting my grass,
or my oat eating field. Up all this grass and all this other stuff. It was kind of like the chupacabra, I guess, of the day. But yeah, that was like a cryptid. It was a cryptid creature that they believed that was doing it. And I'm pretty sure that's the first case of crop circles. Like I was going back to like the late 70s. That's kind of when it became like more mainstream and like more were showing up. It doesn't necessarily mean that it hadn't happened before, but more were showing up in more places, and it was more like, I guess, domesticated to an extent, I guess.
Yeah. Like you said, it blew up. Like the mid-'80s to the 90s, it was just explosive. Crop circles here and there. Like you said, the first one in the 1970s was like in California, I think, if I remember reading that correctly. But I did from... ifuckinglovescience.com. It's abbreviated, but I like saying
it's a good website name.
Yeah. So crop circle enthusiasts have come up with many theories about what creates the pattern, ranging from plausible to absurd. And we'll get to that here in just a second. One explanation in vogue in the early 1980s was that the mysterious circle patterns was actually produced by especially vigorous sexually activity of horny hedgehogs.
Okay, so one more time. Say it one more time.
So, all right, in the 1980s, the mysterious circle patterns were accidentally produced by especially vigorous sexual activity, the sexual activity of horny hedgehogs. So
they think like
horny
hedgehogs are going around like banging each other and like crop circles.
Yeah, crop circles are made. And they're like, oh my god, like what is this phenomenon?
These intricate mathematically geometric crop circles were from hedgehogs.
Horny hedgehogs. Yeah, you gotta horny
hedgehogs. Yeah. You know, the double H, man. You got to get the double H entendre right there. It's the horny hedgehogs. So that's obviously a bunch of bukkake.
Yeah. The bukkake. Okay. Okay, so other plausible explanations go from precise wind patterns or scientifically undetectable Earth energy fields and meridians called ley lines. which isn't ley lines, is actually not a distance you can measure. It's basically like the Earth's magnetic field, kind of mapped out by early British settlers and explorers and all that.
Okay. Yeah, that's a weird story. That's just like kind of weird, and it kind of threw me off just for a second.
With the horny hedgehogs.
Yeah, kind of, yeah, horny hedgehogs. But yeah, there's like different interpretations. Like before that, like we kind of started thinking about like extraterrestrials. Like you mentioned the devil, like the green devil, like kind of like a Tasmanian devil, like going through their chupacabra, cryptid creature, eating your grass, and then you talk about horny hedgehogs to an extent, which is just weird. But
plausible, I will say. I said plausible for horny hedgehogs, but you know, I'll let y'all decide that.
Okay, so I actually have a few. Do you want to say anything else before I get on? I have a few examples of just a couple different crop circles that I wanted to show.
Yeah, actually, so there's a flying saucer theory. Actually, this can wait till later if you want to.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so basically, and I tried to look this dude up from this article, but I could not find anything on this dude, so take it with a grain of salt. But there is a former Air Force and commercial airline pilot for 24 years, Doug Ruby. He decided to take all the crop circles that he had seen, documented, that was just readily available to him. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to put these on top of each other and make a schematic. So he went on to do that. And he actually found out that if you put these, of course, these that he had at the time together on top of each other, just like a schematic and architecture and engineering, it actually came to a picture of a Adamski beam ship, which is kind of like the old school, old timey alien ships that look like an inverted bell. That's what the article said.
Okay, but, so you're talking about like a flying saucer?
Yeah, basically.
Okay,
like,
so like a flying saucer.
His theory was that these are blueprints left by extraterrestrials for us to design.
Like, so we can design like our own crafts?
Yeah.
Or we've already reverse engineered crafts, which I mean, who knows? But yeah, like that's the thing about crop circles. I like that you brought that up. That they are, and we'll get into it more with my examples that I have. But they are like leaving us like clues. I feel like, you know, like we're not. I mean, we can take it for what it is, and we maybe can't decipher the code right now for a lot of these, but. And I would say, honestly, like, when it comes to crop circles, I feel like 80% are probably bullshit, but there's that 20% that you just cannot explain.
Yep.
You know? So, yeah, they're very geometrically, mathematically designed and all that. They're out there, you know? They're clues. They're essentially, like, you know, telling us, this is us, this is who we are, this is where we're at. And we'll get more into that I have a couple examples that we can get more into that. But, like, yeah, that's a lot of them are like that.
I mean, why do you think, though? Like, why do you think they would leave clues behind in wheat fields at that?
Okay, so the way that I see it, this kind of goes back with a shadow government kind of theory. I feel like maybe they have infiltrated our government to an extent. I mean, if you believe in, you know, just the fact that if an alien was let's be realistic, guys. If an alien was going to come down, alien civilization was going to come down, we have no power against them, really. They essentially could just overtake us in any minute. So why wouldn't we give up our governmental power to them? Let them rule us, behind closed doors. You know, we know nothing about them. We just know all the stuff that they're implementing to us and feeding to us. So you look at that and you look at the fact that they've got all this power and like this government control, the shadow government theory, and then you kind of think of it's kind of like just with people too, like people going against the grain. You've got these aliens going against the grain, like, hey, we got to warn these people, like this shit's going on. We got to warn these people. We're here.
Yeah.
You've got these basically these individual or these groups of extraterrestrials going around leaving us these because you got to think a huge civilization. It's kind of like us to an extent, like being like, you know, if we saw somebody drowning and people were pushing us back and there's a group of us, we're probably gonna make hand signals or we're gonna like try to do something to save them, you know.
Yeah.
We might think like, oh, well, at the end of the day, you know, the boss man says we shouldn't do it, but we know what's right and what's wrong. And when you want to see a civilization not fall under your control, you kind of want to do something about it. So,
Right. I might have to ask my cousin because he sprays fields and works in the ag industry, but I want to ask him how many actual fields or crops are government owned. Because, like you said, bringing that up, what if they infiltrated our government at some point? They're like, you know, hey Kyle, go make a circle in this field. You know, just fuck with them, dude. Like, yeah, okay, bro.
Yeah.
sorry, I just accidentally pulled the podcast up. Sorry. But yeah. I mean, like, yeah, like you say that, and it's like, I mean, it easily could be it, you know. Before we get into my what am I trying to say here? My examples. We are going to take a quick break, just a quick intermission, like 5 minutes. I have to pee, so I'll take a quick pee break, and I can do that because I can edit this podcast, so it's fine. So we will be right back in about 5 minutes, guys. Okay, we're back, guys.
What up?
They might have heard us. I don't know. I don't think they heard us or not. Hopefully you didn't hear me pee.
No, I had a podcast pulled up.
So basically, we were talking about crop circles. And I have a few examples that I would like to show to you. Pretty believable stuff. And like I said earlier, like it just goes back to just these mathematically, geometrically designs. So this first one was discovered on July 19th in the village of, I'm hoping I'm saying this right, Nadarzyce, whatever, in west central Poland. So if we have any Poland listeners out there, I'm sorry that I butchered that. From above, the 25 perfect circles are arranged in a pattern with 3 branches that meet at the center. Earlier, they also appeared near the village of Wylatu in north central Poland, which led to it being called the country's UFO capital. So, like, just looking at this, it looks to me like a star system, like a star map. Like, what does it look like to you?
Kind of like the arms of a galaxy. I can see that.
And I like how that the circles in the middle are bigger, insinuating that that's like the middle of, you know, the center of it, the epicenter. As it goes out, they get smaller, as if like that they're like a distance, you know. It almost feels like a distance.
So it wouldn't be so hard to believe like this, especially this design that we're seeing right now, and for people who are listening, but it is not that hard to believe that is the bottom of a ship and its thruster system or something, like its landing gear, its propulsion system, something to make those circles, because those.
So you're saying,
wait.
So you're saying that there's a physical ship that it's like a landing pad, and this is what it.
Yeah. Like that is not so hard to me to believe that. Like that is either the legs of the ship, or it's jet thrusters or plasma ray thrusters, whatever they are, because those are freaking perfect circles.
They are. They're very perfect circles. Like you, like I cannot draw this for shit. But like these circles are so perfectly shapen. It almost, and that what makes me feel like it's that leads to the believability of it to me, is that it is so like precise, you know, to the spec. Like this is like you know, a Google Earth view of it, essentially. And this just looks like insane to me. This does not look man-made. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. So you're taking the map thing out of it. You don't think this is a map. You think this is more of a landing pad for a UFO.
In some cases, yeah.
or
In
multiple
some of
UFOs,
the other,
like because they're all circular.
or multiple, yeah.
You know, I mean,
I mean,
that would
take
be
it from
a weird-looking
Chicken Little
UFO, though.
again. You know, one of the best alien movies out there, Chicken Little. But the whole freaking sky just breaks apart, and it was alien ships the whole time.
Yeah, Chicken Little, but you know,
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean that's to me, I feel like that is a really, that's just a weird. That's just weird, man. Like it's just, and these get weirder and weirder, and some of these are just crazy, and like it just blows my mind just how like elaborate some of these are. You know, this next one is really gonna blow your mind. August 15th, 2002, Crabwood Farm.
No.
Yeah, between...
That's... No.
You don't think this is real?
No, that's a stencil, bro. That's a whole complete stencil.
That's a stencil.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
this is
That's a
legit. They
stencil.
flew over this. This exists. This was a huge thing back in 2002. Anyways, this basically just describe what we're seeing right now for the people that are listening to us.
It looks like... it kind of looks like a... I want to say like oh, God, hold on. Like a Etch-a-Sketch type drawing of an alien. Like it's segmented to make a picture of an alien and then a circular object to the right of it. It looks
I don't
like
think
a
the
UFO.
picture's doing it justice because I was trying to find like a really, really good picture of it, and I think just the picture that I got was like not very good. But yeah, like you said, like this is basically just like a picture of it looks like an alien. Like it's an alien. Like this is an alien.
Yeah.
And it's got like a circular, like it looks like a binary code in the middle.
Like I said, it looks like a stencil for real. Like someone's like, "Hey, bro, fly over, up ahead and cast this stencil right at the sun, and we'll cut it out of this wheat field." And they're like, "Okay, bro, yeah, let's do that." And
Or
get
they're
to
like,
work.
hey, we need to let them know who our leader is, and this is the code that we have for you guys. And once you guys can decode this, then you know that for one, we're out there, and for two, like you're smart enough to understand us, and maybe, So this is a binary code. There's no question about that. This is a bunch of.
I mean, I hate to interrupt you, but that circle, that's a perfect circle too. So that kind of debunks my last, comment about the picture prior. Like, how is that just a perfect circle?
A lot of these are perfect circles, and that just makes it more like the believability for me is just like these are like so perfectly, it just blows my mind. Like there's no way to me that I don't think like a bunch of like a group of people could go out and do something like this. This is nuts. But basically, okay, so I'll break down the code for you because back, I think like a year or two later, there was a scientist, a woman scientist. I don't know her name. I can't remember it just on the top of my head. But basically, she decoded the whole thing. And this is like a legit binary code that she decoded. And then they have other scientists that like looked over it and was just like, hey, this is actually what it is. We're not saying that this is extraterrestrial, but this is what this binary code is.
What was the code? What did it spell out?
It says, beware the bearers of false gifts and their broken promises. Much pain, but still time. There is good out there. We oppose deception. Conduit closing. And then in parentheses, bell sound.
Bell sound.
Yeah. Crazy
Wow.
shit, bro. So let's just break this
So-
down just for a second.
Okay.
Beware the bearers of false gifts and their broken promises.
Government, obviously.
Government, like, shadow government, maybe a reptilian agenda infiltrating our government, or just
Could be biblical
extraterrestrials.
as well,
Yeah. Much pain, but still time. Like, we can fix this. Like, this isn't... there's a lot of crazy shit going on. It doesn't have to be like this. Like, everybody love everybody,
But think
Jackie
back,
Moon.
you said this was 2002, correct?
Yeah, August 15th, 2002.
So almost a year after 9/11,
Yeah,
countries
yeah.
in
I did
turmoil.
not put that together. I did not think about that.
Countries in turmoil. We're fighting a war.
Wow. You know
You
what? You
know,
just blew my mind.
a multi generational
Wow.
war. It's. I mean, it's. I can see the much pain part, but there's still time. Okay.
There's still time. We can get this shit right. There is good out there. You know. There's good people, creatures, cryptids. Extraterrestrials.
Chupacabras.
Yeah. We oppose deception. So basically, like, if you're deceiving, if you're just like going, they oppose all that shit. Like, that's just, and I feel like extraterrestrials, like, I feel like there are bad ones out there that are like very vicious and like want to overtake things. And there's good ones out there too, and they're either faking it and telling us that they're good, so we put our guard down, or they're good and they're trying to warn us.
Yeah.
Can do closing and then bell sound in parentheses. So, I mean, that's just take that for what it is. But this is like an insane. This was like looking up all these different crop circles. This is the one that like really, to me, I was like, either a group of people, a large group of people, of smart people, really smart people, had a lot of time on their hands, or this is like a legit extraterrestrial crop circle. It has to be. Because this exists. I know you said earlier like a stencil thing. This exists. Look this up. There's videos of this shit. This shit's out. It was out there. It's 2002. I doubt it's still out there. But this was a legit thing. And like I said, it's
I'm
either
sure
like a group of really smart individuals, a big-ass group, or extraterrestrials. It has to be. One or the other, man.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
binary
like you
code
said,
shit. Like, you can't explain that shit, man.
probably aliens, dude.
It's it's that podcast with those two guys. That's what it sounds like to me. Is those podcasts with those two guys. So just final thought on this one. I get
I mean, it's great work, honestly. Whoever did it, like you said, smart people, a group of people had a lot of time on their hands, or actually extraterrestrials who, like you said, want to help humanity through the turmoil. Like you said, 2002, maybe they witnessed all that was going down, and they're like, we can help, but you got to take this hint and run with it. And people are like, oh, it's bullshit. It's just, it's people making it. But like you said, what if there's a possibility that a superior race, and I don't mean to say superior race, it's the wrong word to use, but an extraterrestrial race.
I mean, they would be superior to
making,
us, for sure, yeah.
I mean, yeah, true. But that's like if we go to a hostile planet, I'm using the wrong words again, not a hostile planet, interstellar planet, extraterrestrial planet, and we found these, slugs that had, one brain cell. We would be the superior people. So it's not the sense that I was trying to use of superior, but just extraterrestrial in general. They're like, hey, we want to help you, but you've got to listen.
It's a message, man. At the end of the day, it's like they're warning us. It's like this is a warning. This is a message. They're trying to get this shit to us. Which I guess all of these, to an extent, are like that. This last one that I have, it has to do with, and I'm hoping I'm not mispronouncing all this shit. The Arecibo. I'm still learning, guys. The Arecibo message was sent into space in 1974, flashing the most powerful signal ever broadcast deep into the universe. It was a pioneering attempt to reach out to aliens wherever they might be. And then about 30 years later, this shit just came back, and it's literally a fucking reply to that signal.
Wow, I see. Hold up. So, Okay, so it looks, for people who can't see this, it looks like a QR code.
Yeah.
It
Well, let's
look
just
like
be
a-
realistic. The first thing that I saw, what's the first thing you think of when you see this? Is it not Atari? Like an Atari game? Atari
Yeah,
2600?
yeah. It looks like graphics and all. It looks like Atari, Asteroid, Space Invaders, whatever you
exactly
want
like
to compare
Space
it to.
Invaders. And then
Yeah,
they're going
yeah.
to, it's ironic
But I
that it's
believe
Space Invaders,
once you
yeah.
said the radio signal that was sent,
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure they sent like video game music, movies,
They basically,
like
if I
all in
can, like,
general.
if
They're
I,
like they're like, here is Earth in this one, compact signal that we're sending. It had like retro game music, again, like maybe a film. I would have to look up more on it, but pretty sure they sent that out. And then you said, here is their reply, basically.
yeah, so it's basically like the Nickelodeon time capsule where they put GAC and fucking Pokemon cards and all this shit that was popular at the time, 1974. It's maybe a disco CD or some shit, or a record, I guess, at the time. Yeah, but no, like
Pokemon went till
no,
1996, dude.
well, the Nickelodeon time
What's that?
capsule was what, like 19? Oh, it was like 1990, early 90s, wasn't it? The
Damn, why'd you say
Nickelodeon
70?
time
You're
capsule.
going way
Not the-
back, dude.
Yeah, early 90s. Well, anyways, so basically, this is a message, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what the fuck it says. I try to look up information. No, I swear to God, I try to look up information on it. The way that I saw it and the way that I interpreted was, we sent out a message saying, "This is our civilization. We are we're the third star from our sun, or Mercury, Earth, or Mercury, Venus, Earth. So yeah, third star from our sun. I'm trying to remember on top of my head and kind of do some
Third
planet
rock from the sun, dude.
shit. Yeah, we're the third planet from our sun, from our star, whatever. And this is where we are in the universe. And this is all this other shit. These are where we basically a bunch of fucking binary code. And then they sent back their binary code, which basically said, "This is where we are from. We live here. We are this, all this different points and shit like that." So basically, it's just like a map, like saying like, we send a map saying like, this is where we are, and then they send a map saying, but like, this is where we are. This is where they are.
Yeah.
So
So when was this time frame actually?
1974. Oh,
This
when did
was
we
this
send
picture.
one? When did we send one? Oh, we sent.
No, when
we
the
sent
picture,
one in
the
19,
picture, the
okay.
whole on the screen.
We sent it in like 1974, and I think that it got sent back in like the early 2000s,
Okay, hold on. I gotta do a Google search.
mid
real
2000s,
fast.
early to mid 2000s. Look up Arecibo message,
Hang
ARECIBO
on.
message, and just look up crop circles.
Spell it again.
ARECIBO, and just look up like crop circle or some shit like that. But yeah, like it's just
Arecibo message. Okay, it was an interstellar radio message carrying basic information about humanity and Earth that was sent to globular star cluster M13 in 1974.
Mhm.
It was meant as a demonstration of human technological achievement rather than a real attempt to enter into a conversation with extraterrestrials.
So we basically sent this to a specific location. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it was the globular star cluster M13, and there's a link. I clicked on it. It is 22.2. Oh, wait.
That's not the Zeta Reticuli, is it? 'Cause
No,
if that
it
does, then I
says,
can just open up a new can on this shit.
It says globular cluster Messner 13 and Hercules.
Hercules. Yeah, I don't know. You lost me, man.
I'm trying to find the distance of measurement, but
So basically, like these extraterrestrials were, while you're looking that up, these extraterrestrials were giving us a map of some sort of like basically like, hey, thanks for your message, and this is where we are. But
Basically, yeah. And like you said, it wasn't like what I just read. It wasn't really to communicate. They're like, hey, look at all we done, you know? And it actually has. I don't know if you can see or not. No, there's a message right there on Wikipedia. It has a little play button. It says this is a demonstration of the message with color added to highlight its separate parts. The binary transmission sent carry no color information.
no color information. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, because it's colored on Wikipedia, but it wasn't when it was sent in '74.
Oh, okay. So the code that we sent was not colored.
Yeah. So M13, about 25,000 light years from Earth, is what it was.
So wait, it was sent back in color?
No. Just the Wikipedia article has it in color.
Because I was about to say, like, extraterrestrials don't give a shit about color. They don't give a fuck about color.
No, I'm looking at. Okay, so Atari was founded in 1972. So
So we're going with the Atari route, like.
Yeah, I was gonna reference, like, say, hey, what if this message?
It does look very, very Atari-esque.
Like, what if it was the founding code for Atari? You know, like what if Atari
what if like extraterrestrials were like, all right, we need to make something primitive enough, but we need to make it relative to them. What's popular right now? Well, Atari's really popular right now. Let's
like what the hell's an Atari?
Yeah, well, no, but like, dude, they're extraterrestrials. Let's not underestimate them. And they're like, let's break it down for these simple-minded, these simpletons, and we'll just like put it like in a video game language for them. I know that's a stretch, but
I mean, no, like in episode 1, we talked about ourselves being primitive and aliens seeing us as primitive. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. They're like, hey, you know, this awesome, rad new Atari system just came out 2 years ago. Let's send them something they understand.
Yeah. I mean, that's a legit thing, man. Like, it's like that's something to think about, you know, with crop circles.
Yeah, crop circles. So how would crop circles lead to Atari conversations? I lost my train of thought, but
you're good.
Yeah, crop circles, man.
Yeah, I mean, crop circles are cool. We're doing this podcast about crop circles. We have to discuss. You know what's coming up? The greatest crop circle thing of all time. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Signs.
Bingo. Mel Gibson, bro.
Mel Gibson.
Which, it's a good movie. It
is. It's really good.
It's a really good movie, but like, I think we have to talk about like the fact we mentioned earlier that like crop circles are typically like in wheat and barley fields, and then in that movie they were cornfields.
Cornfields, yeah.
So
well, in Chicken Little, they were cornfields too, but
so like just like in like media and like just the mainstream, and it makes sense. Cornfields are scarier and shit like that. You know, it's just
definitely, dude. When he's out there with that flashlight and that hand just goes back into the field.
It's so fucking terrifying. That terrified me as a kid. The most terrifying part. Well, there's 2 parts for me. 3 parts.
Just say the whole movie. There you go.
I can't even talk about it without like looking back behind me because I'm like, holy shit, are there like extraterrestrials around me? But okay, so like we have to talk about this. Obviously, it's crop circles, but the first part is with the knife when he's looking in the cabinet and that's so creepy, and like the suspense and shit that builds up to it. The second one's the alien on the roof. Freaked me out, dude, so much as a kid when he's like going and like the aliens on the roof and shit.
Yeah.
And the third one was when they had that like little like walkie-talkie thing, and they're like listening and they're like pointing it close to the sky, and you hear the.
Yeah, the clicking insect like chattering. Yeah, dude.
Really quick, while we're on the discussion of signs, if you were in that movie, what's the first thing you would do? Would you get the fuck out, or would you just be like, hey, what's up?
Is this before or after? Because, you know, it's the whole movie builds up on them invading.
No, I'm saying, like, if you were in their position and all this shit happened to you in the same way it happened to them, what would you do?
I would have believed that crazy dude who killed Mel Gibson's wife. He's like, they don't like water. And he's like, oh, okay. and then he just barrels off in his car, and then thank God for Mel Gibson's little girl who had 25,000 glasses of water around the house, where
That's like
he
me.
could
Like my wife and I, can we carry like water bottles? We have so many water bottles around our house. If aliens are
thank
coming
God,
at me, man, they're
she-
fucked
yeah.
because I have water everywhere.
just everywhere. I mean, and that's I don't know. I don't know honestly what I would do if I was in the situation where Mel Gibson was. Bro, I don't honestly know what I would do. It's the heat of the moment. I'd probably try to fight back like he did. He noticed that he cut off some alien fingers, and then the alien actually came back for revenge.
Yeah, it was weird.
he's-
That part
yeah,
kind of threw me
he's-
off a little bit. It's like,
He saw the alien holding his son with the missing fingers. So apparently they would be vengeful. I honestly wouldn't know what to do.
so let's talk about the aliens there for a minute in science. The aliens, for one, they look weird. They look like just very particular aliens. Like they don't look like your typical, like, they're kind of gray, but they're not. And they're like really, really tall. And then they kind of look like humans, but then they don't. They kind of look like a mix between like human and like Pumpkinhead, I guess. Those movies.
I mean, it's kind of hard to say because the fact, of course, like when they go switch to the footage from South America at the little kid's birthday party, you get like a glimpse of it, and then when the dude is swinging on him with the bat, you see the reflection through the TV, and just the little glimpses where he's holding Mel Gibson's son. So I mean, it's kind of, to me, I'm opposite. It kind of looks like a basic generic alien.
Yeah, to an extent, I would say I would agree with that. And then that like little thing that they like spray out of their like wrists.
Yeah,
Like-
just a little thing,
It's like
a little prod.
one more time, can you do that?
Little
Yeah, it's.
But you cannot tell me that whole time that dude was swinging on the alien, that alien wouldn't fight back. Like, you cannot tell me that alien would just take a beating.
I can't remember what
and
it
just
was.
be like-
What did he say? Swing away.
Yeah, swing away, swing
He
away.
was like, "Hey,
the
Joaquin,
alien was just getting his ass kicked.
swing away."
And
I
then
don't remember his name in that, but he's like,
I
got
don't
this.
either. It's been so long.
Well, I'm not into baseball, but if aliens were gonna come with me, I'd just have someone throw me a basketball and I'll just throw it at them all really hard.
What if they're from a planet that all of them are born with a specified genetic code to be a basketball superstar?
Really good at good athletes.
And then he just like double dribble and just
That
do
would
the
call it.
legs
Dude,
and-
if they're gonna double dribble, I'm gonna call it. It's my house, my rules. Like, if they're gonna double dribble, then I'm gonna call them for it. They're fucked. But
they're like universal rules. There are no rules, bitch. And then-
holy
Swish.
shit, I don't know what the hell that was. It scared me. Something happened. I think something. Okay, never mind. But yeah, man, Signs is a creepy movie. I will say this: like, Signs is like a really good movie. It's like one of his best movies. For sure.
It is good. Yeah, one of Mel Gibson's better movies. But
For sure.
I mean, he's got a few.
It's got a plethora of Braveheart and all that shit too. But yeah, so like crop circles. Do you want to wrap it up, or like what are we doing here? I don't want to like too much.
Yeah, no, we can wrap it up. We've been rambling long enough.
Yeah, I mean, crop circles. Look, I feel like
Probably aliens.
yeah, probably aliens. We said it last time when we said, "Are we alone?" We're like, right now, yes, but like, are we ever gonna? I love how this is an alien podcast, so we're never like 100% like it's fucking aliens. We're like, probably.
Yeah, probably alien. I mean, yeah, like you said, a magnetic field, wind turbines. A lot can play in the crop circles, apparently.
Well, I will say this. Okay, so this is just my little summary. I'll make it brief. In my opinion, I feel like I said earlier, the more crazy designs, we're talking Mona Lisa type shit. We're talking like Leonardo da Vinci. We're talking like a picture of fucking Barack Obama or something like that. That's probably us. But the more like, I guess they're more elaborate. They're just these, like I said, geometric stuff, like these circular these star systems that can be mapped out, this galactic stuff, this binary code, that is something that it's really hard to explain. And if it is a human doing it, like I said, it's a very, very smart person. There's so many crop circles too. It makes me think that like all these, it's almost like I look at crop circles the way I look at like planets. There's a vast majority of like planets out there. There's an infinite number.
Yep.
There's not an infinite number of crop circles, but there's enough for me to be like, these thousands upon thousands, they're not all man-made. There's some out there that
they can be.
And then like I kind of get to the point where it originated from something. Something had to start this. Nobody just went out and be like, I'm gonna go stomp on some wheat and barley fields and just make some shit. Like
it's the mowing devil, dude. Come on.
Yeah, but like even that's like, that's the way I look at it. So crop circles, I feel like probably aliens. Yes, I feel like
probably aliens. Yeah,
I would say like 80% human, 20% aliens. But those 20% that are aliens, like we're not putting we need to put more attention on that shit.
Especially this day and age with. Well, I can't really say that because any UFO sighting we have these days is like fucking found footage from the Blair Witch Project. But it's like eighth grade YouTube.
Don't zoom in. If
eighth grade YouTube videos.
You have a really good. You have like the best camera ever on your phone. These smartphones and stuff have really good cameras. Don't fucking zoom in, please. People can zoom in on After Effects or some shit on like an editing software. Please don't zoom in. If there's like one person out there that's listening that has like a UFO encounter, please don't zoom in.
Don't zoom in.
So what's your
loses quality, man? Oh, quarks circles.
This is a PG-13 podcast.
Crop
Please
circles.
Don't say that word.
Crop circles, probably aliens. I'll agree with you. Pretty fair statistic right there, 80-20. Probably aliens.
Yeah. Pretty much just copy what I said, but
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
You said it so well, I had to. Man.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. I agree. I did have a message from somebody that like watched the live stream. I just wanted to give him a shout out. Kevin messaged me. Did not comment on the podcast. Said I watched some of the podcast. I was gonna comment, but I didn't. I really want to ask, but why are they making these crop circles? Is it communication or what? What is words or letters in their alphabet? Like, are they tagging our Earth? So what do you feel about that?
That is very plausible theory right there.
Like they're tagging our Earth.
Tagging our Earth, man. Like coordinates, maybe. They're like, hey, this over here in a radius has so many odd people, don't come here, or this is overpopulated. Someone will see us over here, so let's go over here. Like,
or like
that's actually very good.
You need like materials, like you need to mine your materials. Don't come to these coordinates or whatever, or this planet. We've already like gotten all these type of minerals out of this planet. And we left these for you, but we already took some of these, so don't waste your time coming here when you looking for these. You know what I mean? Like, because we don't know. They're aliens. They're extraterrestrials.
No, that is actually from Kevin. That is very, very good, actually. That's a very good theory.
Yeah. Shout out, Kevin. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Crop Circles, guys. Thank you for listening to episode 2 of Probably Aliens. Yeah, I mean, I did want to say right before we leave, if you want us to like discuss anything, please just message us or something. If we have a decent amount of the same responses, chances are we'll probably discuss it. But I don't know what we're gonna go over next, but we'll probably figure that out eventually. But yeah, I did want to say we really do appreciate everybody watching and listening. Thanks for the 5-star ratings. That really helps with the algorithm on Apple Podcasts. And that's pretty much it. Anything you want to add, Trey?
No, just anybody who watched today, thank you. I know watching two dudes just talk about anything and everything, bouncing off each other. I mean,
You don't have to say it like
It's-
that, but you know.
Oh well, no, we're discussing certain topics and then bouncing off each other. But it's
I'm not
something we're
bouncing
doing.
off of you ever, but you know. That's what I was getting at.
Just thank you. It's a huge thank you. We're doing this just for the fun of it.
Yeah, we're
So
not making
thank you
any
for
money
even
off of this shit. We're just doing it strictly for the fun.
Yeah, just start something. But thank you all who watched. Thank you all who listened. Like Jordan said, thank you all for the reviews. Just thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys. We'll see you guys next time. My name is Jordan.
My name's Trey.